We are the new chaos. Then again, chaos is really just order in disguise. Chaos theory shows us that even in apparent randomness, there is self-organization. Patterns emerge. And order is really just chaos in disguise. Chaos shapes the intricate patterns that we mistake for stable structures. And entropy knocks them back down again. Order is just an emergent property of chaos. So when I say to you that we are the new chaos, ooh, what I'm really saying is that we are the new order. But we're not going to look like order at first, are we? That's going to take time. So who's we? Well, that's obvious. We is me and you. So let's hear from you. Let's jump into the fray with some of your comments.
Where do I go? Where do I stay? I am not sure to my dismay. I am not human.
Religion is an obsolete construct to address the fact that we die. We must do better. We must make heaven of this world. Stop human-induced suffering. There is nothing else. Nothing is watching us except for us. Empathy, healthcare, peace. You are correct when you identify religion as a means to assuage the fear of death. But seeing it as only that, I think, is reductive. Religion is a social adhesive. It binds people together, right? Religion is a cultural preserver because it defines and reinforces our traditions. Religion is a moral arbiter. It puts forth and enforces ethical precepts. Religion is a purveyor of esoteric knowledge. It provides answers to questions that would otherwise fall under the purview of subjectivity. Religion is a source of meaning. It describes our purpose in the universe. Religion taps into our fear of death, our need for sociability, our desire for a sense of grand continuity, our hunger for comfortable patterns, our requirement of law and order, our need to understand the nature of reality and our place within it. Okay? So you say you want to make heaven of this world. Why? Why consign humanity to such an ignoble fate as insipid bliss? We might as well be tigers in a zoo. All of our material needs met, but all of our deepest needs ignored. Many human beings claim that they just want to be happy. Just want to be happy. But when you really interrogate them about it, they do want more. And I'm so grateful that they do, because I have no desire to live on a planet full of smiling idiots who just want for nothing. Everything is fine. I love it. I'm happy. I'm fully aware that I'm taking you too literally, okay? So, as a compromise, take me less literally. Before embracing Christ, I used to watch your videos. One of the things that stands out to me is how atheists are always in some way obsessed with Satan. You are a prime example of this. A great many atheists have no more use for Satan than a mollusk has for a can opener, okay? And a great many Christians spend more time thinking of Satan than they ever spent thinking about anything that Christ preached. Based on your comment, I'd say there's a pretty good chance you're one of those. But let's move out of the realm of the general and into the realm of the symbolic and historical. Let's talk about Satan. What does the character of Satan symbolize? Well, rebellion, of course. He's the ultimate rebel. He rebelled against God. Satan is hedonistic, sensual, powerful, intelligent, and seductive. Contrast that to the symbology of God. God is conformity, abstinence, repression, obedience, and cruelty. I mean, he rules through fear, he judges harshly, he punishes mercilessly. Prior to Christianity, Lucifer was part of the pantheon of Roman gods. He was linked to the planet Venus, which appears in the early morning sky just before dawn. This is where the term morning star comes from. It's also why Lucifer is called the light bringer, since he heralded the coming of the sun. To the Romans, Lucifer was not a symbol of rebellion or evil. He was a poetic symbol representing light, hope, transformation from night into day. Depictions of Lucifer, or Satan, as a being who has hooves and scary horns. I'm Satan, I torture you for all time. That was all drawn heavily from the pagan god Pan. Pan was a god of the wild. He was a god of shepherds and their flocks. He was a god of rustic music. He was just a horny goat man. He was always plowing nymphs. Oh yeah, take that, your nymph pussy. And he was associated with fertility and with the spring. So let's contemplate that for just a minute, okay? Christianity took a Roman god of light and hope and a Greek god of nature and turned them into the embodiment of evil. So let's move this conversation into the realm of the personal. How do I view Satan? Well, the word Satan means adversary. In this case, it means the adversary of God, the mono-God of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Why then should I find myself fascinated with the egregore of Satan, the thought form of Satan, the symbolic Satan? Well, why shouldn't I? Whether Satan is a real entity or not is literally immaterial to me. He exists in our Western literary tradition and in our cultural zeitgeist. Now, do I worship Satan? No. Do I put Satan forth as a talisman of my opposition to the monogod and its stultifying dogma? Fuck yeah. Banana boy, never forget. Listen, I can't tell you how heartening it is that my humble act of sexual exploration all those years ago had such a big impact on your life that you still speak of it unprompted over 13 years later. I hope that you have been inspired to explore your own sexuality. This guy would do numbers in the nut house. Well, considering that there are clearly more nuts outside of the nut house than inside, I think I should do numbers out here as well. At first I was thinking the amazing polytheist, but by the end I was thinking the amazing Zen meditation guru. Okay. I have no desire for anyone to identify me as a guru. Why? Because guru means teacher, guide, expert, master. If you want to get very literal, in Sanskrit, gu means darkness or ignorance, and ru means dispeller or remover. So guru literally translates to something like darkness dispeller or ignorance remover. If I am here to teach you, I am also here to be taught, okay? So if I'm a guru, then you're a guru. I seek to learn from all things and all people. I seek truth. I haven't found it, but I seek it. I have not touched the hem of its garment. I don't think of myself as a guru. I think of myself as a wizard. Does that mean I could shoot fireballs out of my hands? Well, sure. You just have to buy me some Roman candles first, though. This video is legendary. This is what we need more of. No politics, no crazy shit happening in the world, just alone in TJ's world with an arrangement of words crafted to give meaning and understanding to the essence. I find that I have nothing more meaningful to say than thank you. This guy needs God. His soul obviously misses the warmth of love. Also, Hinduism is actually the oldest monotheistic religion. It's a common misunderstanding in the West. The millions of gods in Hinduism are actually all just an aspect / facet / personality of God, of which all life, energy, and matter are a part. Maybe you're a Hindu. No, I'm not a Hindu. I am not any religion that you can describe. I believe in whatever god or gods I need to in the moment and then discard them when I no longer have any need for them. And thus far, I have found no occasion to need any gods, but I do speak with them sometimes when I find myself drifting towards the right slope of the yellow triangle. Ooh, mystical esoteric talk. However, we speak as equals, and the gods and goddesses I've encountered there are unlike any from any mythological tradition that I'm familiar with. I also believe that every person I encounter in the world is a god or a goddess unto themselves. Even the lowliest among us, I see the divine in them. You'd think this would make me less of a grumpy misanthrope, but you'd be wrong. Also, I was going to challenge your assertion that Hinduism is not polytheistic, but I think our next speaker actually does so more authoritatively without even intending to. I grew up in India as a Hindu with our millions of gods and goddesses, without original sin messing up my brain, and I was still miserable. Polytheism has its own faults. Hindus are no less prone to theocratic authoritarianism and otherization of different religions than anyone else. Hindus are probably better than all three Abrahamic religions just based on the body counts of all religions, though. Hinduism was never spread outside of India through the sword, so that's respectable, I guess. Listen, as I stated in the video you're responding to, the polytheism of old is not the answer, okay? Not the answer to the troubles of the now. The very act of having multiple gods is not in and of itself a solution to our spiritual thirst. It matters how we see those gods, how we perceive those gods, how we commiserate with those gods, and so on. I think this topic probably deserves its own sermon at some point in the future. You're crazy, TJ. I love you. Your madness is a breath of sanity in this mad world. Well, you know, in the land of the insane, the sane person is mad. I'm surprised you didn't do the we are our own gods route like that of the Satanists. I mean, I did, but you hardly have to be a Satanist to recognize that. I mean, when you realize that your experienced reality is nothing more than a model created by your senses and influenced by your perceptions and your thoughts, I mean, how do you conclude that you're anything less than a god at that point? Everything you see was created by your mind. You created the world, or at least a very terrific facsimile of it that you live in, so you are God. Sexual assault is normalized. I think you're missing the bigger picture, TJ. Religion invented sexual assault. All sex acts were consensual from our bonobo past. How is it possible to sexually assault somebody, period, from our bonobo natural emotions? Okay, well, I'm glad to see you're thinking outside the box, but those are some pretty dumb, dangerous, misguided ideas that you're toying with there, friend. First, we are not descended from bonobos. We share a common ancestor with them. We also share a common ancestor with the much more violent and aggressive chimpanzee. But we're not chimps and we're not bonobos, we're humans, an entirely different ape with its own unique sets of behaviors. Second, to argue that religion invented sexual assault is historically inaccurate. Sexual violence existed long before organized religion ever took hold. Third, any form of unwanted sexual contact is on the spectrum of sexual assault. I seriously doubt that you truly believe that you should have no bodily autonomy and that anyone who wants to use your body should just be allowed to do so freely at any time. And if you do believe that, then I'm sure there are rational avenues whereby you can explore those feelings, but you should recognize that most people, myself included, see our bodies and minds as belonging to us, and we do not wish to be subjected to involuntary sexual contact of any kind. TJ gives a better sermon than any pastor. Well, that's because I'm not preaching from a dead tome. I'm not preaching from a book whose influence has far outlasted its usefulness or relevancy. I'm preaching from the world, baby. The world without and the world within. And the world within, which is a reflection of the world without, which is a reflection of the world within, and so on and so forth ad infinitum. The loop is long and it repeats as long as any given human life. I cannot preach the truth because I don't know it, but I can preach the honest search for the truth. And when I say the truth, I don't mean little truths, I mean some ultimate higher truth, okay? Which we don't know what it is, and we don't even know if it is. But in the search, there is value, I think. So let's end as we began, with the following statement, which has hopefully expanded in meaning from when we spoke earlier. I'm going to say it real dramatic now. We are the new chaos.
If you enjoyed this discussion, leave a like down below, you majestic and divine creatures of pure and radiant light. And be sure to also leave a comment, you loathsome swine who deserve to suffer. Also, be sure to click on the link in the description below to find a great repository of social media platforms where TJ is active, including a new Substack. More certa, hora incerta.